Hey, friends, are you afraid of anything? Like, for me, I'm super afraid of spiders. Oh my, yeah, I'm so scared of spiders. Well, they're so fast and they crawl so quickly and they just come out of nowhere. They're very creepy, don't you think? Well, my sister's afraid of the dark. So if she saw a cave like this, no way would she go in there. It's too spooky ooky for her. Very scary. And sometimes kids are so afraid of broccoli on their plates. I know. Sometimes that can make you go, ah, when your mom puts it down on your plate. I get it. Well, today we're going to talk about something that really scares kids when they're doing math. Yeah, are you ready? All right, don't be too afraid, friends, but lots of kids are really afraid when they see words. Yeah, that's right. Words. Words are so scary, especially when you're doing math. Wait a minute. You're not afraid of words? Yeah, okay. Okay, I can understand being afraid of spiders and darkness and even broccoli. But words? Should we be afraid of words? No way, friends. Words aren't scary. And words in math are definitely not scary. But sometimes when we see words in math, we start to feel really nervous. And that's because we don't really have a good strategy for what to do when we see words. Strategy? Oh, strategy is a very fancy word. Can you go ahead and say that word with me? Strategy. Good. Now, a strategy is just a fancy way of saying a plan or a smart way to solve a problem. See, if we see something scary or something new or something that we're uncomfortable with, if we have a strategy for how we're going to handle it, oh, that gives us some relief and we feel a lot better. So today, we're going to use a strategy called the read, draw, write strategy. Can you go ahead and say that with me? Read, draw, write. Well, guess what we're going to be doing when we're doing this strategy? That's right. We're going to be reading, drawing, and writing. I know. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our brain and turn it on, and we're going to read. So we'll see some kind of math problem. It will have words. The good news is we can read together. So we'll read the words, and then from what we read, we're going to draw a picture to go along with the story. And then, after we've drawn a picture to match what's happening in the story, we're going to write about it. And in math, we usually start writing about it by writing a number sentence. And sometimes we actually write a whole sentence with words. So we're going to do a couple of those things together today. Okay? So feel good about the words. Don't be afraid of them because we have a good strategy to use. Now, our learning goal for today says I can solve word problems using the read, draw, write strategy. And then that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Now, for today, I'm going to have you get out a dry erase board and a marker or a piece of paper and a pencil so you can practice the read, draw, write strategy with me today. All right, so press pause when I get those things, press play when you're ready. Y'all ready, friends? All right, here we go. Now, when we read, draw, write, what's the very first thing we have to do? Yeah, we have to read. How come we can't start with writing? Well, writing's going to include the answer, and we don't know it yet, right? Why aren't we starting with drawing? Well, yeah, we don't know what we're going to draw about, right? So it makes sense we're going to start with reading. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and press pause. You can read that, but press play and we'll read it together. Okay, here we go. The first thing we're going to do is read. There were 9 people on the bus. At the bus stop, 3 people got off. How many people are on the bus now? So, look at, we read it. Very good job, friends. Now, usually when you read a word problem, you have to read it a couple times. But after you've read it a couple times, that's when you can get ready to draw. Because when you draw, you're going to draw what you know. And you're going to go in order. Okay, so here we go. Get that marker, get that pencil. We're going to draw what we know. So it starts out by saying, there were 9 people on the bus. At the bus stop, 3 people got off. How many people are on the bus now? So we know that we started with a total, there was a change, and we want to figure out how many are left over. Do you agree? Okay, perfect. So it says there are 9 people on the bus. So let's go ahead and we're going to draw 9 people. Now we're going to draw 9 people with a whole bunch of like faces and arms and legs. No, absolutely not. In math, we're going to do quick circles to draw. Okay, because we're just trying to show our thinking and show what's happening in the story. So circles are fine. All right, so here we go. We're going to draw 9 circles. So go ahead and you're going to draw 9 circles. Try to keep them very organized. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and that matches what we read. There were 9 people on the bus, and now we have 9 circles. Okay, so it says at the bus stop, 3 people got off. All right, so we need to take our 9 circles that we drew and we need to show that 3 people got off. How can we show that change to our circles? Yeah, we can just go ahead and cross off 3 of them, right? That can show a change that people now left. So let's go ahead and cross off 3. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, so now our question says, how many people are on the bus now? Do we have to change anything to our drawing? No, we already did the changing. So now we just have to look at our drawing to find the answer. So how are we going to do that? Yeah, we're going to see what part of 9 is left over that was not crossed off. Let's go ahead and count. Well, I know this is 5. So 5, 6. So there are 6 people on the bus now. Let's go ahead and put that into a number sentence, okay? This is where we're going to start writing. So let's go back to our problem where we read, and we can also just look at our picture too. We started out with 9. So we're going to write that in our number sentence. And then 3 got off. So did we add them or did we subtract? Yes, they left. So there we're going to subtract 3. And then that equals how many were left over from our 9? Yeah, 6. Excellent job. See, we read the story, we drew about it, and we wrote about it. And now we're going to upgrade a little bit and we're going to fill in this sentence too. It says there are blank people on the bus. Now, the blank is what we were looking for. So, how many people are on the bus now that 3 got off? Yes, 6. So, we're going to go ahead and fill that in. Okay, friends, how are you feeling about this strategy? Yeah, I love this strategy because it really makes you slow down and it helps you do steps to find the answer to make it so clear. When you read it and then you draw what you know and then you write about what you figured out. Yeah, that's super helpful. Read, draw, write is a great strategy. I have to say it's one of my all-time favorites. Okay, can you erase your board or find a new spot on a piece of paper because we're going to do another one together. All right, pause if you need more time. Otherwise, here we go. Okay, here's our new problem. What's the very first thing we're going to do, friends? Yep, we're going to go ahead and read it. So go ahead and press pause. I want you to read it and then press play. We'll read it together. Okay, did you already read it? Good. Now here's the deal. We're not going to read it just one time. We have to read it a couple times. Okay, so you read it. Let's read it together. There were 5 people on the bus. At the bus stop, 2 people got on. How many people are on the bus now? All right, we read it. What's our next step in our strategy? Perfect, to draw. All right, what are we going to draw? We're going to draw what we know. Beautiful job, friends. All right, let's draw in order. Let's start at the very beginning of the story. There were 5 people on the bus. So what should we start by drawing? Yeah, let's go ahead and draw 5 people. 5 quick math circles. Go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. Are we done with our picture? No, we are not because we still have more to our problem, right? Okay, let's go back. There were 5 people on the bus. At the bus stop, 2 people got on. Okay, so we're thinking about our picture. How could we show that change of 2 people getting on the bus? Yeah, we're not going to cross off because that would mean they got off. So what could we do? Yeah, let's add 2 more circles. And I like to show that it was a change. So when I add my 2 circles, I'm going to color them in. Okay, so watch what I do. 1, 2. Can you go ahead and add those 2 people on and color them in so you can show the change in your picture? Very good. Okay, so now we're on the last sentence. How many people are on the bus now? Do we have to change our picture in any way? No, we don't. You're right. Yeah, we already did all the work to change it. Now we just have to tell the total. So how many do we have total in left? Or what part do we have left now? Yeah, no, what total? That's right. What total do we have? Well, we had 5, 6, 7. All right, so here we go. So now we got to write about it. We're going to write what we read and what we showed in our picture. So let's start a number sentence. There were 5 people on the bus and 2 people got on. So we added 2 and then that equaled how many? Yeah, the new total was 7. Excellent. So if I had the sentence, there are blank people on the bus, what number would I put in there now? Yes, I would put 7. Hey, friends, I'm going to ask you a question. How come you wouldn't put there were 5 people on the bus? Can you press pause and talk about that with a buddy and then press play? Okay, so when I filled that in, I said there were 7 people on the bus. Why didn't I say there were 5 people on the bus? Yes, because 2 people got on, so that was a change. So we want to make sure when we're writing about it, we're writing about what happened all together. And by the end of it, there were 7 people on the bus. Excellent job. Wow, you're so good. Okay, friends, I'm going to let you work on this one all by yourself, and I'm just going to have us check it. So I want you to go ahead. I want you to read, draw, and write. And then we're going to go through the whole thing together. So I want you to read it first. I want you to draw a good picture to match it. And then I want you to try to write a number sentence to go with the story. Okay? It's all right. We're just trying it for the first time all by ourselves. And then you can press pause. We'll go through it together when you're ready. All right, press pause and then press play when you're ready to check it. Okay, did you read, draw, and write? All right, I can't wait to see what you did. All right, so let's read this one together. There were 7 people on the bus. At the bus stop, 4 people got off. So how many people are on the bus now? Okay, so maybe like you, I drew what I knew. So there were 7 people on the bus. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now right now, as we're going through it, if you made a mistake, it's okay. Press pause, upgrade your thinking, and then press play. Okay, it says at the bus stop, 4 people got off. So how would I show in that change of 4 people getting off in my picture? Yeah, I'm just going to cross out 4. Is that what you did? Oh, perfect. So how many people are on the bus now? Yeah, it already shows my picture. There's just 3 left. Oh, you are good. Okay, so what number sentence did you write to match this picture? Ooh, okay. All right, so you said 7 minus 4 equals 3. Let's read our story and see if that matches. Here we go. There were 7 people on the bus. 4 people got off, so of course we're going to subtract 4. And then there are 3 people left on the bus. Nice job, friends. And if I had this sentence, what number am I going to fill in there to tell how many people are left on the bus? Exactly 3. Oh my goodness gracious. You are so good at reading, drawing, and writing. This strategy is so helpful to us when we're solving problems. You know, our learning goal for today says I can solve word problems using the read, draw, write strategy. And that's exactly what we did. And sometimes, friends, when people see words in math, they get really stressed out and really nervous about it. But you don't have to be nervous because we have some really good strategies and math skills that will help us to solve the problems. And so when you're working on word problems, I want you to be thinking, read, draw, write. It's a great strategy for you. All right. See you next